Hello, my name is Brooke Michael, and I am one of the RN to BSN program advisors, and we want to welcome you to the University of Michigan Flint's RN to BSN program webinar. We want to start off with a question that we get asked for almost every student, which is why should I go to the University of Michigan Flint for my RN to BSN program? We know there are a lot of out there for students, and we really appreciate you taking the time to invest in your future by furthering your education with the BSN and looking into your different options. These are just a few of the reasons why we believe the University of Michigan Flint's RN to BSN program was ranked #1 in the state for the second year in a row. So the first one is that we are CCNE accredited. Now that's going to be important, especially if you're planning on furthering your education beyond a BSN. So if you're planning on going to grad school for an MSN, a DNP, CRNA, those are all competitive admissions process, meaning they're going to take the top tier students. And when they're looking at top tier students, they're looking for students that are coming from these accredited programs. So, and specifically CCNE, because it means that you are well educated. What they want is for students to be successful in their grad programs, and they need to know that you have gotten that basic information in your BSN. The other thing is that you know that this is for you to further your education and become a better nurse, and not just to buy your diploma or buy some initials behind your name. The other thing is that we offer undergraduate opportunities in our RN to BSN program. So currently we have undergraduate certificates in both leadership and management and case management, along with the fact that we have an upcoming certificate in nursing informatics. And we also have the opportunity to start into our graduate level healthcare simulation certificate during your BSN program. We have early assurance option for students. We know you're planning or thinking about, a lot of you going on for that MSN or that DMP. And like we said earlier, it is competitive admissions. What we offer our RN to BSN students is a early assurance or holding a seat in one of our MSN or DMP programs. We also offer an RN to MSN or RN to DMP track. Those are for those students that want to skip over their BSN and go straight to their MSN or their DMP. We also don't have any prerequisite courses that you have to complete before you can start into our program. There is nothing that you have to complete other than your associate's degree in nursing to do our RN to BSN program. The other thing is that you can start into our program before graduating with your associate's degree or passing your NCLEX. So that's an opportunity, an option to do what we call a concurrent enrollment plan. And a lot of students really enjoy that process. We also have advisors that work with you from the time you go to a table event or one of these webinars until you graduate. Anytime you see one of us at a nursing event, that is your advisor. And that person you can work with from the time you start the RN to BSN program till the time you graduate. You don't have to worry about if you attend a nursing event and you see one of us getting passed off to somebody else because it's just a recruitment person there. These people are your advisors. We also have personalized course plans for students. So we create a personalized course plan for every single student, and we can adjust it as many times as you need. Each student needs to go through the program differently. Each student has different goals. Each student has different things they transfer in, and each student has different life events that maybe they need to take time off from. And that kind of goes into our next point, which is that we offer every class online every semester, which gives students that opportunity to go at their own pace or to take semesters off when life events come up. And finally, we offer students 15 University of Michigan Flint credits when they pass their NCLEX. And we're going to go through these on the next couple of slides in a little more detail. First, we want to talk about those transfer guidelines. So you want to keep in mind that you do need a grade of a C or better in something for it to transfer in. So if you received a C- or a D in a class, that class will not transfer into the university. The other thing is that you need an overall GPA of a 2.0 on a 4-point scale and a 2.75 in your nursing curriculum. You need to complete at least 30 credits at the University of Michigan Flint. And as always, transfer credit is subject to change. So before you take anything above and beyond what is built into your associate's degree program, make sure you speak with an advisor. You can speak with an advisor even when you're in that very first semester of your associate's degree program. We want to talk to you from the get-go. You don't have to wait until you're almost done or you've almost graduated to speak to one of us. We will work with you as early on as the program as you want to help your transition to your BSN and to the university be as smooth and as pain-free as possible. If you want to see how your classes transfer in, there's our transfer equivalency website. It's very helpful, very useful. And you can put in your school and then the class you took, and it'll tell you exactly how it transfers in. This is a pre-admit plan of study. I know it's very confusing. We filled these out for each student individually based on the classes, how they in their transcripts. So I just go over it quickly because I want you to be able to see the nursing curriculum and the classes. On the left-hand column, you'll see your general education courses. Those stay the same no matter what bachelor's degree you're going for. Doesn't matter if you're going for a bachelor's degree in business or nursing, you have to complete those yellow categories like English, fine arts, social science, finance and quantitative literacy, etc. Most of our students transfer in the majority of those classes. And if you have a previous bachelor's degree, then you have all those general education courses waived. So it doesn't matter where your bachelor's degree came from, and it doesn't matter what general education courses you took. If you have a previous bachelor's degree, all of those classes are waived. You don't have to take any of them. Then on the right-hand column at the very top, about halfway up and above, you will see our nursing curriculum. You can read through those and see the interesting classes that you'll be taking. And then the bottom right-hand column shows those 2 nursing certificates we talked about, the 2 undergraduate ones in case management and leadership and management. What I want you to notice on those is that there's 2 courses with red asterisks in each of those. Those classes and each of those certificates are built into your RN to BSN program. So you have to take those no matter what. So you'll notice that you can graduate with that certificate along with your BSN and only add 1 to 2 additional classes into your curriculum. So here's some common questions that a lot of students have. Students often want to know, how many classes can I transfer in? You can transfer in as many classes or credits as you want. There's no limit to it, but you do need to complete at least 30 credits at the University of Michigan Flint. I mentioned that kind of on the first or the second slide, but that's something you want to keep in mind. You can transfer in 100 or 200 credits, but it's not going to do you a ton of good to have a multitude of credits if you still have to complete at least 30 at the university. When can I start? Students can start any semester. We have fall, winter, spring, or summer. Our spring semester is going to start May the 3rd, summer, June 28th, and then our fall starts August 31st. Again, as I mentioned before, all the classes are offered online every semester, so you can go at your own pace. And if life events come up, you're not penalized for taking time off. As long as you don't take more a year off, you're never subject to any catalog changes. And every class is going to be offered that next semester. So if you take time off, you just take it the following semester. Are the instructors from the University of Michigan Flint? Absolutely, they are. These are the same instructors that, again, once campuses open back up, you could go to campus and meet them face to face. And then finally, is this a University of Michigan Flint degree? Yes, it is. It is the same diploma signed by the same people, no matter if you went to Ann Arbor, Dearborn, or Flint. You're in the same alumni groups and you have the same alumni benefits. So let's talk a little bit about those 15 credits for passing your NCLEX. So like I mentioned before, once you pass your nursing license, you will get 15 University of Michigan Flint credits added to your account. Now, or transcript, I apologize. These 15 credits can be used towards a couple of different rules that are helpful for students. One is you need an overall of 120 college credits between whatever you transferred in from your community college or university and what you take at the University of Michigan Flint. That's the minimum to have a bachelor's degree anywhere. You can't go anywhere or get any degree and have less than 120 college credits and have it be called a bachelor's degree. So with that, if you're slightly shy on those classes or credits, you can use these 15 credits to go towards that rule. The other thing that it helps with is with those concurrent enrollment plans. So let's say, as an example, you go to your community college and in the fall, in the winter, you take classes for your associate's degree program. And then in the summertime, they didn't have any nursing classes. You don't have anything to take, but you want to keep the ball rolling. So you want to come to the University of Michigan Flint and start into our program. You absolutely can. Then go back to your community college in the following fall and winter and finish up and then start with us after you're done. That's where these 15 credits can be used towards, because we have what we call a senior rule. And the senior rule states that your last 30 credits need to stay at the University of Michigan Flint, no more transferring in at that point. With that, you can use those 15 credits towards that rule so that you can do one of our concurrent enrollment plans. What you want to always keep in mind is if you're doing a concurrent enrollment plan, make sure you work closely with an advisor so we can make sure we meet all these rules with you. So let's talk a little bit about those certificate opportunities. So as I mentioned earlier, we have the case management and the leadership and management certificate opportunities. As I said before, it's only an additional 1 to 2 credit courses, I apologize. And then you graduate not with only your BSN, but also a certificate in one of these areas. Also, the content that you learn in these additional classes is tailored to our national accrediting exams. So if you want to be nationally certified in either case management or leadership in management, you will have the content and the information to be successful in those exams. Also, we have a new graduate level healthcare simulation certificate. We are the only university in the state of Michigan that has this certificate. As you know, and COVID kind of shown that we need more healthcare simulation experts. And so this certificate allows you to be certified as a healthcare simulationist. And so what you can do is it's a 4-course certificate. You can take 2 of the 4 classes during your BSN coursework. The good thing is that when you graduate, you'll have 2 more classes left to do to be certified. And on top of that, it's normally a graduate level certificate. Most students have to have their BSN completed before they can start into the certificate. But we have this opportunity for our RN to BSN students to start into it early. This not only helps you get that jump start so you can be almost done with it, but also those 2 classes that you take during your RN to BSN program also are at the undergraduate tuition rate. So you have it at cheaper by doing it this way as well. So let's talk about early assurance. So we offer an early assurance for students that know they want to further their education to an MSN or DNP program. So what you'll do is there's 4 classes within our RN to BSN program that you take first. You'll see those listed down below. You must have a B+ or better in those 4 classes, and then you can fill out this form. Before you fill out this form, you want to work with your advisor and see when, based on how fast or slow you're going through the program, you're going to graduate with your BSN. Once you know when you're going to graduate, you can fill out this form and put the semester in which you want to start your MSN or DNP after you've graduated. So this essentially holds your seat in that section that you picked. So if you picked to start in the winter of 23, it would hold a seat in the winter of 23 as long as you A, finished your BSN before the winter of 23, and B, maintained a 3.5 GPA or higher at the University of Michigan Flint. You don't have to worry about what your GPA was before you transferred to the university. It's just your University of Michigan Flint credits and GPA that needs to go towards that 3.5 or better. This is a great opportunity for our students because you get that BSN and you know that you have a spot in our competitive admission MSN and DNP programs. So we also have an RN to MSN and RN to DNP option. Those RN to MSN and RN to DNP options are for those students that want to skip over the BSN and go straight to the MSN or straight to the DNP. This opportunity basically cuts the RN to BSN curriculum in half. So there's a couple of things. You need a valid nursing license to apply. Students need to have a 3.5 GPA or better in their ADM program. So your last 60 credits, whatever those were, you need a 3.5 and better. And then you must complete those prerequisite classes. You'll see those bulleted down below. We're going to go over those. And for the RN to DNP track only, just this track, you must have a previous bachelor's degree in a non-nursing area to apply. So for example, let's say when you were young, you went to college and got your bachelor's degree in business or healthcare administration, doesn't matter what it was in. And then you went back to your community college and got your associate's degree, you would be a candidate that could apply for our RN to DNP program. Down below, you'll see these prerequisite courses bulleted. These classes can either be taken or transferred in from your community college or your past university. And then the other nursing classes and or those other 2, if you didn't transfer them in for some reason, all of these classes are offered online every semester at the university. The good news is that if you change your mind and you decide you just want to do the RN to BSN program instead, all these classes are still applicable or still applied and needed for the RN to BSN program. So you can use those there. There's more information on those two websites below, and you can click that when you get the emailed slideshow to you. So let's talk about your next steps. The first thing we always suggest doing is applying. And the reason is because the application is free and it's good for an entire year. So even if you don't want to start until the winter of 2022, this application is still good. The other thing is that it saves a step. Otherwise, you're doing a pre-admission and a post-admission appointment. If you're already admitted, it's just one appointment in there. Then you'll book an appointment with an advisor to go over what transferred in, what you still need, and we can even talk about additional coursework you could take at the community college if that's something you're interested in. So how to apply? First, you go to our website at umflint.edu/apply. You're going to click the transfer student button and then the first time user creation button. This username and password is only for the application. So don't feel like you're going to be stuck with that for forever. Just put something in there to get by through the application in case you get locked out in the middle of the application. Then you're going to send in transcripts from every college attended. We do need a copy from every college or university that you ever attended. Now, during this time, we can admit you with unofficial transcripts. So what you would do is you could take a picture with your phone. You could scan it in on a computer. You could log into your school's website and get a PDF and email it to us. However, you can get it to us, as long as it's legible, we can admit you with those. So again, the key factor is making sure it's legible. So make sure if you do take a picture with your phone or scan it in, you look at it real close and make sure we can read those classes. And then you're going to email those into that email/electronic email address down below. At some point, you do need to send in official transcripts. So you would send those in at a later date, but you can be admitted and even start with unofficial transcripts. After you're admitted, then you're going to book an appointment with an advisor to go over your courses. If you send everything in electronically, you're normally admitted within 48 hours. So booking an appointment, the easiest way to book an appointment is to go to our website at online.umflint.edu and just click the blue book button. You're going to see that we have opportunities to have face-to-face appointments across the state. Right now, all of those campus locations are closed. We hope to have them open back up by fall, but we will always offer phone and virtual appointments. It's the only option right now, but even once those campus locations open back up, you can book with any of our advisors all the time for phone and virtual. Now we have open time slots or extended time slots on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. So we know you guys have weird work schedules or you have classes or things like that. So you can't always do a traditional 9 to 5. You can book that early morning or late appointment on Monday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. And then also you have an opportunity to have a traditional 9 to 5 type appointment on Tuesdays and Fridays. So our tuition is $4.97 per credit hour. That tuition has been frozen for a year, so we won't have another tuition increase. We know that for at least another year. And then the other thing is that we have a lot of scholarship opportunities. There are a lot of scholarships going on right now for transfer students. And so I highly recommend clicking each of these links within this slideshow when you get it and visiting them all. If nothing else, go to the very bottom one, which is umflint.edu/blue4u spelled out. And that one has almost all of them listed there. There is probably a scholarship that you can find that you will qualify for. So go there, read through those scholarships, see which ones you qualify for. Most of them don't have any additional steps other than admitting to the university and taking classes. But some of them may have an essay or require a certain amount of credits that you need to take each semester. So just read through those and see which ones you qualify. This is our different advisors. You can meet with any of us anytime. So even though you maybe booked an original appointment with me and you don't see a date and time, you can always book with another advisor. We have a system where we have all of your information all together, so we can always see any notes or any plans that you've already created with a different advisor. So again, I'm Brooke. We have Tiffany, Stephanie, and Jennifer. You can call, text, or email us anytime. Email or text are always the best way to get a hold of us. In case we're in an appointment or a meeting, we can always respond back as soon as that is over. So we want to thank you so much for listening to our presentation about the RN to BSN program. If you have additional questions once this presentation is over, please feel free to email me back, or like I said, text or set up a phone appointment, and we can go over all those additional questions you may have. Thank you, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.